One country's trade war is another country's opportunity. That's how India should see this. Yes, there will be a hit, but there will also be opportunities. New Delhi's job is to hunt for those chances. And one area could be rare earth metals. Like I said, China has halted the export of these metals to the US. It's a move that could cripple US businesses. But could India intervene? Can we plug the gap left by China? Let's try to answer that tonight. First of all, what are rare earth metals? These are a group of 17 elements in the periodic table. Most of them have really weird names, like europium or holmium or scandium. As weird as they sound, they are pretty important. You need rare earths to make a number of crucial products like semiconductors, electric vehicle motors, fighter jets and missiles, wind turbines, and even your LED lights. Basically, these are metals of the future. And where does China come in? Well, China dominates rare earth production. China makes up 70% of all rare earth output. They also make up 90% of rare earth magnets. These are magnets made from rare earth metals. They are key to making EVs. Now, this dominance is not an accident. China identified the importance of rare earths back in the 1990s. First, they put tight controls on the deposits. Rare earths were declared as strategic and protected reserves. Then China invested in processing technology. Like all ores, rare earth has to be extracted and processed. And China took the lead in doing that. And since then, there's been no looking back. This near monopoly is worrying for other countries. China's latest ban has spooked the White House. Listen to what Trump's trade advisor said.
The rare earth limits are being studied very carefully, and they're concerning, and we're thinking about all the options right now.
The US is rightly worried because rare earths go into almost everything, even their flagship F-35 fighter jets. Normally, such crucial inputs would be stocked. But reports say most American companies do not have stocks because rare earths are quite costly. If you stock them, a lot of your cash would be tied up. I'm sure they're regretting that decision now. But what's the way forward? Could India play a role here? On paper, yes. Look at the largest reserves of rare earths in our world. China is at number 1. They have around 44 million tons of it. Second is Brazil with 21 million tons, and India is actually third with 6.9 million tons. Australia is fourth with 5.7 million, and Russia is at the 5th position. So availability is not a problem. In fact, it never was. Don't fall for the name rare earths. Most of these metals are not actually rare. They're found across the earth. Then what is the problem? Extraction and processing. India and the US are hoping to collaborate on this. It came up during Prime Minister Modi's recent trip to the White House. Both sides agreed to jointly explore opportunities. The problem is this is going to take time. Rare earths industry cannot be built overnight. China's rare earth industry was not built overnight either. It was created over decades. Nonetheless, it's important to prepare for the long term, to create an alternative rare earth supply chain. And Donald Trump is certainly game. He is hunting for rare earths in war-torn Ukraine and freezing Greenland. So he's clearly desperate for alternatives. And India? Well, last month the government announced a major move. It allowed private companies to mine rare earths. So clearly India is aware of the opportunity. The question is, how quickly can we scale it? Because time is of the essence. And I'm not just talking about rare earths, I'm also talking about the broader manufacturing pivot. India wants to become an alternative to Chinese factories. Most policymakers feel that the time is right. They point to Trump's hefty tariffs on other Asian producers. Remember, India was tariffed at 26%, but other Asian countries faced a much higher tariff. So on paper, this will help India. This should. It will make Indian goods more competitive. But that alone will not sway companies. Producers will look for other factors as well, like how cheap are the raw materials, how good is the public infrastructure, how easy is it to acquire land and set up a business, how soon can you settle disputes. All these factors affect the final decision of a business, perhaps more than tariffs. So India's focus should be on creating a robust manufacturing environment. Public infrastructure has grown leaps and bounds in the last 10 years. The ease of doing business has also improved, but clearly more needs to be done. If not, India could miss the manufacturing bus again.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.